If you're not playing Forbidden Rite these days, then you have no idea what you're missing out on, as thanks to the newly added unique amulet, Whispers of Infinity, which causes all skills to cost energy shield instead of life or mana, a new Forbidden Rite tech came to life, which caused the build to deal more than double damage. Enter Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice, an alternate variation of Forbidden Rite that gains 4 times more base damage from energy shield compared to its regular counterpart, in exchange of a base life cost. Originally this was designed to be used in hybrid builds, which made utilizing it difficult, but now with the new amulet, you can even go CI with it. And that's what we decided to do in this video, in addition of making our version semi-immortal. Enter our extremely tanky cast on crit variant that uses Aegis Aurora, has over 50,000 armor and 90% maximum elemental resistances. This thing destroys delirious tier 17 maps and their bosses with ease. Sounds exciting? Well then let's stop wasting time and get started with our Ascendancy. We are an Occultist. Occultist is excellent for chaos based CI builds. First we take Profane Bloom. It causes monsters to explode, dealing 25% of their life as chaos damage. It is the Occultist magnum opus for clearing the entire screen in a flash. Anyway, next we take Vile Bastion. This node provides 100 flat energy shield regeneration per second and scales maximum energy shield by chance to block spell damage. But most importantly, it grants stun immunity with energy shield. Our next Ascendancy is Unholy Authority. This is a cast on crit build. As such, we can have a second curse setup in the form of a mark on hit with something like Assassin's Mark, which we will apply using our attack skill. Anyway, last but not least, we got Forbidden Power. This node provides 1 additional power charge and scales both area of effect and area damage for each one we have. Utilizing power charges is a must in any cast on crit build, since you want to be crit capped on both the attacking skill and the triggered spell. But with that we are done with our Ascendancy. Now let's take a look at our passive tree. Our tree focuses on power charges, intelligence and energy shield, spell and attack block, armor, area of effect, spell crit chance and crit multi, chaos damage, and lots of jewel sockets. Next we got 2 large cluster jewel setups. The first one adds the following notables: Overwhelming Malice and Wicked Pale. Anyway, our second large cluster jewel adds the following notables: Touch of Cruelty and Wicked Pale. From here we branch off into 2 area of effect medium cluster jewels, each one adding the following notables: Vast Power and Magnifier. Next we got 1 crit medium cluster jewel. This one adds Basics of Pain and Pressure Points. Last but not least, we got 1 small mana reservation jewel adding 3 passives. This one focuses on maximizing the bonuses granted by its small nodes. On it we have resistances and 35% increased effective passive skills. Alright, now for mastery choices, we got +3 to level of all critical support gems. Aura from our skills have 10% increased effect on us, 3% increased damage per power, frenzy, and endurance charge we have, 10% more chaos damage dealt to enemies that have energy shield, 1% chance to block attack per 5% chance to block on our shield, plus 25% to critical strike multiplier against unique enemies, and a rune graft of treachery which provides 15% increased reservation efficiency of skills, but makes our auras affect enemies. This is great because we want to give enemies discipline aura to deal 10% more damage to them with our chaos mastery. But with that we are done with our passive tree. Now let's go over items. What's a good cast on crit build without a good weapon? Your only choice here is an Imperial Skein Dagger with either Fractured tier 1 crit chance or tier 1 crit multi. Spam Essences of Zeal on your dagger for that tier 0 increased attack speed until you hit the other crit mod. These are your suffixes. After that we just added a Veiled prefix which is increased spell damage, and then crafted hits cannot be evaded. This is best in slot and only requires 10 divines to craft. Now to go alongside our dagger we are using Aegis Aurora. This unique shield needs no introduction. It recovers energy shield equal to 2% of armor on block. Given enough armor, this is immortality against swarm of monsters like in the Simulacrum. It also increases our maximum cold resistance by 5%, which we utilize to scale all of our maximum elemental resistances via Melding of the Flesh Jewel. Anyway, next for our amulet, we got the previously mentioned Whispers of Infinity that drops from the new incarnation of Dread Boss. Aside from enabling Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice to work, it also grants us an upward of 480 flat energy shield with defensive catalysts. That is a lot of energy shield. Just don't forget to anoint your amulet with Force of Darkness for 15% chaos penetration. Now for helm slot, we got Crown of the Inward Eye corrupted with +1 to maximum power charges. This is best in slot with this corruption. You should really try to save for one instead of buying a very expensive rare crafted helm that might as well cost you more for less performance. Now moving on to our first defensive rare item, we got a self-crafted sacred chainmail with attributes and lots of armor and energy shield. To make this, get the chest with fractured tier 1 defense prefix, then spam essences of rage on it until you hit decent resistances, or maybe add a veiled suffix via veiled exalted orb for more attributes if you still need them. After that, slam the other defensive prefix via eldritch currency to finish the craft. Just don't forget to get both increased aura effect and increased determination effect eldritch implicits on your item at the end. Anyway, next for boots, it's mandatory to get perfect 20% increased cooldown recovery rate roll Crusader mod on your boots. Aside from that, you are looking for movement speed and as much energy shield as possible. Next on the list, we got a rare pair of gloves with energy shield and resistances. We crafted this in a similar manner to our chest. However, for implicits here, we got 2% increased maximum cold resistance and % chaos leech, which gets converted to energy shield thanks to a Ghost Reaver keystone. Now for our rings, we have a precursor emblem with +1 to maximum power charges and 3% increased energy shield per power charge. Getting both of these mods together ensures that you have something that rivals mirror tier crafted rings with +1 power charge implicit. Except that buying this is cheaper and you can always copy its effect with Calandra's touch for maximum efficiency. Last but not least, we got Mage Blood, a straightforward option for builds looking to scale defenses and speed. We mostly need this to scale our maximum cold resistance with a Sapphire Flask and to get lots of armor from a Granite Flask. But with that, we are done with our items. Now let's go over gems. For our main 6-link setup, we have Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice, Cyclone, level 6 Awakened Cast on Crit, Awakened Void Manipulation, Power Charge on Crit, and Awakened Greater Multiple Projectiles. Anyway, next we have a 4-link aura setup. We got Determination, Zealotry, Discipline, and level 4 Enlighten. Next we got another 4-link reservation setup. In it we have Despair, Awakened Blasphemy, Tempest Shield, and another level 4 Enlighten gem. Our last 4-link setup provides damage support. We got Assassin's Mark, Mark on Hit, Summon Flame Golem, and Dash. Last but not least, we got the defensive 3-link setup. We got Molten Shell, Automation, and more duration. But with that, we are done with our gems. Now let's go over jewels. First of all, we have a Watcher's Eye with 30 energy shield gain per enemy hit while affected by Discipline, and 8% additional physical damage reduction while affected by Determination. Next we got one Militant Faith Timeless Jewel that mentions High Templar Dominus specifically. Place it in this socket to maximize its effect. This jewel converts all nearby keystones into Inner Conviction. Inner Conviction grants us 3% more spell damage per power charge. Next we have a Thread of Hope jewel with a large ring placed in this socket. We have this here primarily to allocate Glancing Blows and Divine Shield keystones. Our last unique jewel in this build is Melding of the Flesh. This one caps all of our maximum elemental resistance by the highest one instead. You're gonna need to roll additional elemental resistances on one of your flasks to compensate for this jewel penalty. Your remaining jewel sockets should be filled with rare jewels with whatever mods you're still missing. However, one of them must have 2% increased mana reservation efficiency of skills prefix, which is needed for our specific aura setup. You're gonna also need +2 to maximum cold resistance suffix to hit the 90% cap. But with that, we are done with our jewels. Now for Bandits quest, we're not going to help any of them and instead take the extra passive point. As for Pantheons, we got the Soul of Lunaris and the Soul of Ralakesh. But with that, we are done with our Immortal Forbidden Rite build for this league. If you guys have enjoyed this video, then feel free to leave a like and maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future build guides like this one. My name is Phoenix and I will see you all in the next video.